Hello, welcome back to Real Time with M. Francis McCarthy, your painter in residence. Just thought it'd be cool for you to see the sun up here. There's the work area, the ever-present computer. You can see my little reference monitor there. This is pretty educational, and this is my studio, of course. You can see a little bit of the front area there. Bit of distortion from the wide angle, but that's alright, we'll leave it on. You see more. My drawing area, the often discussed. This is a couple of my things there, but mostly past masters. Bunch of past masters. One of my things, two of my things. One of those is going to be made into a print, the one on the right, when I get around to it. Anyway, let's get to work. So that's helpful for you. I've got a little box there with my, that's a TV my wife got for looking at workout videos, but I took it because it wasn't getting used all that much, so I thought, well, why not use it for reference? It's worked out pretty good. I like the colors of my little Sony one. You can see my Sony one down there behind the box, but and we're zooming in. Usually I got a bit of fiddling to do. I'll go get in a bit closer. I always try and get things as lined up as I can. Bit of glare today, but I think that's exactly the right angle either. So we'll get this about right and go from there. Yeah, a bit of glare. So we're about, I don't know, 3.5 hours in. Alright, we're back. Sorry if I'm a little sniffly. Feels like I'm kind of allergic. So, wow, I'm looking at this on this other monitor, and I've got it dialed down as cool as possible. It just seems so much warmer than what I have here. That's really easy to remedy, of course, but well, I prefer to actually stick with one monitor all the way through. Yeah, see this hair or something. I don't know what this is, but it's a pain in the butt. And the paper towel's just not helping. Anyway, I don't know. I hit it with the liquid. Sometimes it's sticky. Who knows? Somebody was close to it with a fuzzy sweater or something like that. Alright, we'll leave the music off for you. Odorless lean, archival, or alkoid base, alkyd. I decanted into this smaller bottle. I have the tape here because every now and again I'll just peel all the stuff that's dripped off. That was my thinking anyway. Let's see if I ever do that. This is the second bottle I've been decanting into. And then of course I put some into here. I'll turn this around so I can see what you see. Oh yeah, you can't see that. So, little cup. And we're going to start off with some big time glazing. Now, glazing won't affect dark areas very much. It affects light areas quite a lot. One of the reasons I knew this had a more greenish feel, these blue areas, but I'm going to accomplish that with the glaze, not try to paint it straight up. I talked about that, I think, in the first part. We have a problem in that this space here is a lot more. I probably should have had this tree over a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch or so. We're just going to deal with it. Well, I talked about that a bit already, so this will all be contiguous. It's been... Look at this fuzz. This is making me crazy. Saturday, let's see, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 days later, here we are. Doing the second pass. And I don't know why. I feel I got an imperative to do this, so... We might finish it today, or maybe a third pass, we'll see. So, I've done a video on glazing. I'm not going to go over that again, but you've seen the palette zoomed out there. I'm going to put a bit of paint down. This is going to be a mixture. Well, there's 2 glazing areas. Here I want a more definite yellow. The thing is with the yellow is that it's not 100% transparent, so it will knock the black way back. Also, the yellow itself will be too greenish, so I counteract the green with some permanent orange. Permanent orange, not being a super strong color, gives me a yellow that's just a warmer yellow. It's still very yellow though. Like that. Color like that. Okay? It was like... I don't know if you can see off the tip there. It was like that. And I talked a bit about how yellow is really green. It really is. If you don't believe me, add some black to it. Yeah. Alright, so we got a bigger knife. I put about yay amount. We're just doing the sky bits first. And poured a good amount of oil on that. Gonna mix it in. I don't want it super heavy. The ratio of pigment to oil really determines the effect of the glazing more than anything else, because once you rub it on and wipe it off, it is what it is. Alright, so a nice flat area of the towel. It's relatively flat, doesn't have to be perfectly flat. And then usually I wipe my knife off there, and then I go right in. And that is crazy. It's crazy. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. You can see how it's going over the black there. Whatever. Don't care. That's pulled us right into the Inness zone. I probably made a little too much. I've learned with glazing though, not to worry about it. Just if you make too much, I do scrape it and set it aside, because if I clean it all up, I find that I often need it. These we can wipe down in the areas where it's messing with our black. It's not such a bad thing though. Gives you a chance to restate the blacks. Now, actually I'm just going to get rid of that because it's got that opaque thing in it, and I don't want that impacting the next bit. That's all very warm as well, but I'm going to warm that up with transparent earth yellow, which doesn't reveal its nature unless you use it for glazing or add white to it. Then it turns into a color just like yellow ochre. And then that has a bit of a greenish quality, so a big glop of permanent orange, which gives me a color like that. And I like that. And I'm going to go with some transparent earth red, also warm. And I'm tempted to add some red in too, because I did that on the little one that I showed you at the beginning, the 7x10 that I did very recently. They came out really good. It's just got a texture it's a bit heavier than I want. So I'm actually making this pretty thick. Oh, that's me phone. Yeah, that's my email sound. So. Okay, Again, just wipe the knife off there. You can use that. You can't use, I threw away the last, the rag with the last glazing color on it. So I've got a lot on there. I'm going to go over this. And as I told you, because it's so dark, it's not going to have that great. Actually, I'm sort of regretting getting rid of that yellow now because, we can put some more down. The darker it is, the less effect glazing has. In fact, there's enough opacity in the paint, it's basically just making my black less black. That's not so bad, actually. I think I'm going to put some up here. This is having an effect, though, however subtle that may be. I'll wipe that off. And that tree, I should have saved a bit of that yellowy. Make sure. See, remember I was telling you how not to throw that away? Then I went and threw it away. That's too orange. Now I know, and sorry if I'm repeating myself from the Saturday session, that's one of the problems with recording live. I'm going to ramble about the same things over and over and over again. I'm very pedantic. All my students have been accused me of that. Things I always say, like you got to do a lot of painting, you got to work hard. It's all coming from experience, though. I'm not pedantic for no reason. Alright, so made some color like that. Threw away the last one. Because I'm looking at this tree, and it's really yellow. No, there's effects you get with glazing you never ever get with paint. I'm sorry. You can hit the colors. We know you can hit the colors. May as well try to get some more of that. Why not? If you're looking at his, it's just a ton of that greenish feel over the blue, and that's how he got it. He painted the blue and then he glazed it. And you will never get that effect any other way. You, like I was just saying, can hit the colors. But that's nice. Yeah, so if you do one of these on your own, you'll see how glazing makes your Inness study look a lot more like an Inness. And I've only seen one or two Innesses in real life, and it looked like he glazed the bejesus out of those things. Really took him for a ride. Anyway, couple ways to get the black back. Well, this is one. Still, this won't be as black as you might think. This is pretty effective, though. Good old, we call them Q-tips in the States. They call them earbuds out here. And of course, there's a warning on the pack not to stick it in your ear. I stick them in my ear. I'm not gonna stick it so far in my ear I'm gonna hurt myself. I see some bits of this and that. Look, can you see that crud? Let's see if we can get that zoomed in. Crud. Anyway, this is the time. This is the time because so much work is going to be done in here. I really did. I give it a good straight down before the liquiding. But apparently not good enough. Sometimes I see areas that are raised that are hitting the light. What the heck is that? Oh, a big chunk of glaze paint that I don't want there. Now, yeah, I do the glazing and then I kind of wipe it off a bit too. Get some of that extra paint there. Yeah, it sets a tone. This is very very close in color feel to the Inness. The only problem is, of course, this you're going to keep hearing me complain about that because I just did a video, just put up a video today where I'm talking about perfectionism, and I'm technically a perfectionist. I know you couldn't believe it just looking at the quality of my work. Just kidding. I think my work's pretty good. Not perfect. But I'm always going for perfection. I'm always trying. It's a lifelong journey. So you may not see it at your angle of the camera, but I'm seeing raised bits. Now's the time. Now's the time to get anything like that before you start painting. I don't like chunks sticking up. I don't mind texture. I don't mind naturally occurring sort of artifacts from the painting process. But I don't like, the eye, see where I dug that out, you get a bit of a light bit, but that's going to go away when I paint a little more black on that. I'll see it. As a chunk hitting the light. Sometimes little bits of hair, they roll up. Now once you start picking at these, the more you pick, the more you see. It's up to you whether you want to do that kind of thing. I do. Also, I just see some areas that are more raised than I thought. A little bit of oil. Take care of that scraping. Not that I always do this. Won't do anything for that, I guarantee you. Oh, I spoke too soon. It took care of 90% of it. It's still there, a little lighter area. Okay, so, here I am, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm talking, I'm wondering, what do I want to do next? I want to restate some of these darks, I'm probably going to do that. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to move all this over, it's too much of a structure. It doesn't really matter. I think another part of my issue is that had I had the horizon line a little higher, this would have... Yeah, whatever. Okay. See, aren't you guys glad? You don't normally have to hear all this stuff. Okay, so I like to start off by picking a few brushes out. Now, I did that. I put up a brush stroke. I call it a brush stroke demo, although, you guys have been seeing me do painting after painting for many years now, but I paint differently on my second and third pass than I do on my first pass, so this would effectively be that demo, so it's going to be live time. I like to pick some brushes out first. I'm going to use 4s all the way through because the painting's already there, it's already blocked in. I used quite a bit of 6s and things for a lot of this. I'm going to be dragging the brush over the surface to get certain effects. I'm going to do a lot of stuff. Now, I'm going to probably... Not the 2. I'm going to use a 2 to restate some blacks. We're going to start with that. Lay down some black. I'm actually going to add a little medium on the palette. I want something that's moving. I'll start off by dipping my brush in the oil, get some oil in there. It's about the only time I want a good... this tree is a lot thinner than the reference, I can see that. And I'm talking also about, it looks like it has a bit of a slant. Gosh darn it. I don't know how I like that. It does not really have a slant, but I'm going to take advantage of technology here. Alright now, and this tree's thicker. That's nice. my little plastic T-square. I think I mentioned you can't get those in the New Zealand. I don't know why. So I'm gonna just carefully break up that cleanness. That's nice. And well, this is a lot bigger, my reference today. I can see some places where I just got things wrong. Now, I will say that's not a big deal. I keep talking about that because I want it to be as close as possible. But if I wanted this exact, I could have traced it or gridded it or done a million other things to ensure that it was exact. Ultimately, I really don't care that much about that. You can see one thing's great about the glazing. Another good reason for the glazing is like when I restate these darks, I can see because of the glazing. So, you know, one of the reasons I put this on the larger screen today is because there's some details I just couldn't make out very well at that smaller size. And it hasn't mattered so much in the past because I've been painting all my other studies much smaller. It's like this funky bump here. What's this funky bump? I'm not as funky as Inness. I'll never be as funky. I'm very philosophical, though. He was a very philosophical dude. Oh, totally forgot it. I'm seeing a lot of things with this larger, with the reference on the larger screen. It just wasn't seeing as well. This is a very interesting area here. I choked a lot of this down because now one thing that's going to be cool today is like I can paint right over the top of that light color. I remember in the last session you would see me repaint this so many times. Nice. Now, one of my little tricks for, if that looks too clean, too nice, or whatever, blot it with the, that falls right in now. Okay. That. I just added a bunch of medium to the black. I don't need this to go. A lot of it's pretty much dark enough. It's not 100% black, but doesn't really need to be. The areas that need to be 100% black are the areas I've just done. I don't want to see lines. I don't like lines on my paintings unless there's something like that. Yeah, one thing I see a lot better on this bigger screen is where what's actually black and what's just dark in Inness's painting. Everything you do adds up to something else, not just in painting, but in life. The things you decide to do or don't do, they have big impact. The longer that you work on the painting, the bigger the impact. Now when I want a bit of a rougher, less controlled, that's when you'll see me hold the brush like this. One thing well, everyone likes to know about why you hold a brush a certain way and things like that. It's really intuitive. But before there's intuition, there's experience. There's reasons for things. This is that little figure. He's in darkness. I need to get into my paint's very thin there. It's too thin to actually make an opaque statement over that other bit. He's got like a little cart or something. I'm not going to do all that, but interesting stuff. I can see much better now. I haven't. This is, this version of this painting that I'm using is only maybe 900 pixels wide, maybe 800. I see the light hitting something. I don't like it. Now's the time to root it out. I don't like little glints of things in the darks. That's not good. There's something over here too. Jeez. And this is working. There's that bit I scratched off earlier. You can see it's all going to be resolved now. And this work is very mysterious. It's one of my big attractions to it. My work less so, but compared to a lot of other folks, it's pretty freaking mysterious, I guess. Tonalism in general, kind of mysterious. I don't want that pipe. I don't want that straight line I had to deal with in the last one. Well, yeah, this is a good chance to get rid of some of the fuzz. He has a random, very stochastic sort of thing going on in the grass, which I'm setting up. More black. Not up here though. I don't want it up there. Things catch my eye. That's another thing. I do a lot more of my finger than I used to. Or the paper towel. Same difference. You probably saw me paint this a zillion times in the first pass. You'll see me, I keep doing the same things over and over. It's like there's a weird log here. It's not defined. So it's easy to miss, especially in like a smaller painting. And here I can do a bit of dry brush at any time. That's really just an angle change in the brush. I don't want to do too much of that right now because I'm going to be going in with some other colors and things. So it wouldn't make much sense now. So what I'm doing now is not dry brushing. I'm pretty much restating some of the darks remember me talking about how dark this was when I first brought it up. And it is. His is coming off a lot lighter. But I will... we're getting some good effects. So, got the black in my brush. I just add medium. That gives me a lighter tone. This stuff's quite dark. Random. Not sure what all that was, but I don't want to put any over here. I've been tempted to do it, but I'm not going to do it. All right. Scrape that black in a little pile off to the side. Clean that area. So I keep looking up here. It's like a thin branch. There's a bit more blue up there. Really became clear to me the second I put it on this larger palette. I'm going to, I just talked about how be very difficult to get that color, but I'm adding a bit of yellow. I'm phthalo. I don't think, and that's that phthalo. Tiny bits of yellow. And I gotta add black too because all my mixtures are coming out super vivid. It doesn't really matter because I'm just kind of more yellow. More yellow. Of course I can get it back into somewhere at, glazing.
Going to the Mission's demo at 3.
Is there a demo?
Hey! What? Hello!
Maybe.
Come on. Come and say hello. Oh, you're caught.
Oh, he's caught. Go ahead.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah, he's caught.
Then why are you barking when you couldn't come over?
Yeah.
You're giving a demonstration at 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've got to go and check it out.
Oh, you should. It's pretty cool.
Better go and see it.
Yeah, no, I will see. I'll try. I've actually, I haven't been getting much actual painting done. So
Right.
whenever I finally do actually remember,
I don't worry about that if that happens. I just go with it.
I go with it up to a point. But if you go with it up to too much of a point, you don't get shit done.
Well, I usually do. I get it. I'll come right. I just get this. I just get wide and I just get this feeling and I just go for it.
Yeah, well,
sometimes I don't. So.
that's what I'm doing. I'm going for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, thanks for the heads up. I didn't know about that.
It's about 1:30, isn't it? It's around about 1:30 at the moment.
Yeah, it's 1:45 actually. Like that. Oh, I love dry brushing. So it actually took a little bit of this same color I've got and going ahead and transitioning into these light areas, bunch of little light areas here. And never fear, we can do more glazing on that third pass. I did orange. Oh wow. Orange, red. This little area has been perplexing me the whole painting. It's perplexing because his is built up of all these different glazes and half remembered things, and who knows, like the way he would work sometimes, he didn't work in a strictly linear manner. Sometimes he would build the paintings up. Dry brushing, another big Inness technique. You gotta believe it. Okay. Between the dry brushing and the glazing, getting an idea. So dry brushing, one of the big reasons to have the texture. Now over here, things go into more of a gray. I'm going to use mostly raw umber with a touch of alizarin and some of my gray mixture, which is, 40% black and, oh, that's good. Needs to be a little lighter. Nice. Oh, it says an artist having a show here right now. He's quite accomplished. He has a brilliant technique. It's contemporary style. Had a bit of a nice chat with him last time he was out here. I'm gonna bring in some of these. Some of this might need to be cemented in with another glaze. Yeah, he's teaching too. He's got a great technique. Really nice. I couldn't really live with one of his paintings because they're too bright for me. Well, I noticed he's been knocking back his chroma, which is good. You want to hit a nice... I already can see I'm going to have to hit this with another glaze later. This patch here is off. That's okay. Okay, now when you get down into this bit, and so you're gonna hear repetition. That's the name of the game. I probably said a lot of what I'm saying here before. It's more of a bluish here, not too much. So I'll make a mark, then I evaluate. Shut it!
Hey, you're in the barky mood today, aren't you?
Yeah, enough of the damn barking, dog.
There you go. It's all right. You can smell another dog on me.
Yeah, I don't want any more barking, Denny. I had enough. Yeah. I don't need to hear no more of your barking. Alright, very interesting, these little bits here. And we're going to hit that. It's actually for the tree that comes down. It's very interesting. And more of that. You already saw me struggle with that. You can struggle a little bit. It's okay. Too much struggle, though. It's not good. Too much struggle becomes a drag. Drag to look at. So one of my favorite terms is the term facey. Yeah. That's too facey. I can knock it back. And dry brushing, be careful. Don't overdo it. A little is good. Too much and your whole painting is just going to be this big blurry mess. Just an idea of disturbing the paint surface, really. Sometimes you'll see me scratch things with my palette knife as well. So I'm pretty happy with that sky area for now. It started out as too light there, but this, it really is like that in this painting. It's like a lighter blue over here. But third pass, I'm going to hit it with a real light yellow glaze again. So that'll solve a lot of problems. Okay, so that's pretty good. This guy's pretty good. One thing I'm noticing though, getting a bit of a dark ridge here. I don't want that. So what's the solution? Some paint? Paint's the solution. Dry brushing. Knowing, of course, that I can bring things all the way in with my glaze later. And I will. Things catch my eye. I mean, half of what? Half of what goes on right now is just things catching my eye, like there was a bar of darkness catching my eye. That's actually in the underpainting. It's just a chunk of paint there. Wow, that's eye-catching, huh? No, it's gone. Okay. Now, looking over here, and in his painting, it's like, oh, it's really green.
Oh, interesting to see. So, which tree are you going to put it on?
I'm going to grab some of this, a little bit of permanent green light and yellow ochre. Then I'm going to go into my Hansa yellow medium. Now, speaking of, maybe some of you heard the one of the subscribers of the channel was nice enough to send me an article about cad yellow and its interference with potential interference with lead white, which apparently isn't an issue. And so I have just recently placed an order for some paint, and I thought, well, I'm always struggling to mix these light yellows. Maybe I'll add a light yellow to my palette. I'll try cad yellow light. So since it's not gonna have a problem with my lead, my white, I'm anticipating nothing but good things. The good things. That's not what I wanted. So, like, this area just looks too flat to me. want to do a bit darker over the top, but I'm having problems getting something that actually make an impact. Just want it disturbed. I don't want. That's a bit of black and gray. There. Just disturbed. Okay, so we're working big to small. But sometimes as I notice things, I have to make a point of addressing them when I notice them, because there's so much that goes into a painting. It's pretty complex. If you might not notice it until you're doing it for photography at home. That's not good. You gotta go, and then at that point you just have to let it go. Because I'm not gonna. Although sometimes I won't. I'm not gonna do too much of this dry brushing on the black, because I got big plans up there with other colors, so that'd be counterproductive. Oh yeah, so I got distracted because I was going to do this area over here. I got this color all mixed up, ready to go. I'm going to add some orange to the equation and some it needs to be darker. I'm actually going to add some of my Mike's green mix even, which is black and yellow. That's going to be too light. And here I want to err on the side of a little too dark. See, that's good. That's a little too dark. But we're gonna wipe off. Now when you dry brush, I'm gonna wipe off my brush. I'm gonna go back and get the littlest bit. Because this I want to be broke up, but I want it very subtle. Whoa, that's too strong. That's what I was talking about. Wipe off some of that. But sometimes a lot of what painting is taking something that's a little too strong and making it work. I like that. It's okay. It's a little too intense right now, but we'll make it work. Yeah, I have this like as a dark blue here, but that was just a little bit designed to. I'm pretty sure I know what Inness was thinking back there. He's thinking the light's hitting and creating a bit of that glow. But it got glazed with stuff. It goes much lighter in there. And this is basically this. The first color I mixed was like this color. Would like to see that demo today, but busy working for you right now. And it's a privilege, let me tell you. So over here is a bunch more of these greens too. I wonder what will happen if I just. That's nice. Dry brushing takes practice, and that practice means ruining a bunch of paintings. Really, too much dry brushing. But that was, let's see, a good portion of 2015 and 2016 for me. Too much dry brushing. It's knock on wood. I mean, it's been a while since I've ruined a painting with dry brushing, so. And I have some that aren't quite ruined. I just know they're not as good as they could have been. Now we've got this. Then he gets into a proper green here. Whoa, it's too much. That's not the right color. I'm going to grab some of that permanent green light down here. He didn't have permanent green light. That's a new modern pigment. Who knows what he had? Probably sap green or one of these green like that. Yes, all these little details back here. None of them defined. And his original painting is much larger than this. So, this brush is, I've been using this brush a while. If you clean your brushes properly and crimp them, I'll show you one sitting here. This is from yesterday. Right? I picked that tip up from good old Richard Schmid. He was really great painter. Probably heard of him. Yeah, well, he's got so many people that copy what he does. Oh my God. Interestingly, okay, so here you got this line, and then here, really there's no line. And then here it picks up again. Weird. I want to add some orange to this permanent green, whatever mixture I've got, and a little bit of transparent earth red, aka burnt sienna. You can see it's breaking up. Breaking up on that texture area to get a block or something I don't want there. That's very close to the kind of effect he has. And then he's using in all this subtle stuff back in the hair too. He's got like this. Even here, it's like maybe a little dry brushing. Like I said, I see something, I fix it. That I have to fix with actual black. Okay. I'm gonna mess with that too much. I like that effect. It's pretty close to what he had. Right, and I've got these blue things on my palette. Well, not much blue left actually. I turned it all into green, but greenish blue. So I've got little spots like up here, here. There's a spot where I've got some gray on my palette still. Warm gray. Wipe it off because I want to use the dry brush to delicately that's good. Adding some black to that mixture for up here. It's going to need to be a lot more black than I'm thinking because on the palette it won't look dark enough, and yet I'm pretty sure when I hit it here, I went too dark. The idea being a little bit of dry brushing there. A little bit here. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. Golds, golds, golds. I don't think Inness took the time to texture his boards. But I do think one of the reasons that he liked painting over the top of his old paintings and other people's paintings was because he liked the texture that he got. This is too facey. It's quite stochastic in the reference I'm looking at though, so I'm going to leave it. So right now I'm leaning back, I'm looking at things, and I'm ready to move on. So wipe my brush off. I think I'll leave that brush for blues and greens and whatever. I'm going to scrape my palette off, at least get most of this. It's kind of that color. Put that off to the side. Maybe we'll need that. Hardly even looks like a blue. It's kind of this greenish. Some artists don't. I think you need to clean your palette every once in a while. Just scrape it off. And I tend to do things like that when I'm in this phase. One phase done, moving on to the next phase. In fact, I don't always I keep a little bottle with some mineral spirits. That's the Gamasol. I put a few drops of lavender. I know I said that already last session, but whatever. Hey, if you were here in the studio getting this lesson, you'd hear me repeat myself endlessly. And if you were one of my regular students, I don't like more than one a week, but I have one now. She hears the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. Okay. And I don't need to clean my palette as well as I am right now. But, alright, it's time to get some color in there. I'm changing to a nice clean brush. So I don't want any of this mud from over here. I just noticed something though. That's a good thing too. You take a little break, you move on, you see things when you come back. And I recommend just fixing them when you see them. So, too dark. Orange, Hansa yellow medium, white. With a dry brush. More white. See, this is the thing, this constant back and forth between the white and the Hansa. I keep adding the white, then adding the Hansa, then adding the white. That's what I'm thinking, maybe having a lighter yellow might save me some of that work. I mean, I get where I want. That's too much. But I'm thinking, I'm always into working smart, not hard. A little much, but whoops. That's my TV wants to turn itself off. TV/giant digital frame. Now there's a little area here. That's brighter. I don't want to be too mincy. And we're going to, we know we're going to hit that with the glaze again. So, but if things are dark, glazes don't affect them very much. And also this goes kind of orangey down in here. Oh gosh, I could even take a little stab at that. Permanent orange. Transparent earth, red, permanent orange, a lot of medium, and not much white. So the white that's left to my brush from A lot of medium, almost like a mini glazing activity here. Some more Hansa yellow. Just a little more richness and color in here. Now we're going to need to go put some of this lighter color over the top. Hansa white, Hansa white, Hansa white, back and forth, until we get something we like. There we go. Yeah, so you can see my technique when I'm doing the second and third color pass. It's very different from my painting technique when I'm just locking colors in. I can do some dry brushing. That's good. And if I get carried away, I do a little bit of scraping, so. Right. I don't recommend getting too nuts with this kind of thing like I'm doing now. That's a bright light area though. It's going to catch the eye. Bright things catch the eye. Areas of contrast catch the eye. One thing's dark and another's light. That's going to catch the eye. When I have a paper towel, it softens it. So, yeah, speaking of old Richard Schmid, you'll see him do that. He'll paint something and then he'll go over it with a rag or dust it lightly with a brush. Because you can't have every part of your painting catching the eye. You don't want that. All right, so we were moving into over here. That's what I have in mind next. Kind of gotta go to the bathroom though. I think we'll make a good breaking point right there. Hit the restroom. Interesting. Okay, so take a break. We'll be back.